a very simple Halloween tree anybody can make. Stick around. Well, it's that time of year again, my little ghosts and goblins. And this year we've got a great little holiday craft project for Halloween. It's going to be kind of a spooky and scary tree that we're going to cut out of a single piece of 4x4 foot plywood. And you can decorate it a bunch of different ways, but we're going to talk about options throughout the video. So stick with us, it's going to be fun. Now, we've talked before on the Family Woodworker channel of how we like to keep some of our projects simple. And there are some projects we introduce on our channel that only use basic hand tools, in some cases very basic, very simple power tools to get these projects done. And the same is going to be true for this project. All that we're really going to need is a jigsaw. And we'll show you how we clamp it up and cut out our tree. But you don't have to spend a lot of money on a top of the line jigsaw. You can get them at a number of different locations for less than 30 bucks. And if you're just trying to build up a tool set, I think a jigsaw is one of those things that you can use for a variety of different reasons. This might be a good entry level or a good first power tool purchase for you to add to your collection. All you need is a pencil. So basically I'm taking my 4x4 sheet of plywood, 1/2 inch, and I'm going to make my tree a little bit taller by building it on the diagonal here. And all you're really doing here is pulling out a ruler, grabbing a pencil, drawing it, make it jagged, make it crooked, and if you don't like it, and like I did a couple of times, erase it and draw your branches over again until it starts to look good. Take your time. Let's cut! So at this point, and I even darkened up my lines here with a black magic marker, but you're just taking your time. This video is sped up quite a bit, and just cut on the line and make sure you don't cut your branches off. And here I'm just cutting off the bottom. This will be the flat part of the trunk of the tree. And then I went all the way down the spine here in a straight line because I want to be able to fold my tree, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now you're just sanding it, getting all the rough edges off, and I'm just using 60 grit paper here because this is going to be kind of a rough and rugged tree. Make it nice. The other thing I'm doing here, and I showed you that I cut it down the spine, I want to be able to fold it in half for storage because I can put this up on the shelf next to a couple of other Halloween decorations I made. So you don't have to buy the hinge if you've got a place to store it, but I did. I bought it. Now with some flat black paint, it's going to make the tree come to life. Take your time, get all the edges. So while we're waiting for the tree to dry, it looks really good in the flat black. You've got a couple different options for decorating the tree. And remember, there's a couple different ways you can construct this tree and manage the cost if you don't really want to spend a lot of money. The 4x4 sheet of plywood costs 14 bucks. I spent a little extra on that piano hinge, or you can leave it as one piece and don't worry about the hinges. I just did that because it's going to store better on my shelves in the garage. But now for decoration. So we have all these cutout pieces of plywood from between the branches, and they're going to wind up being a great platform to maybe do some additional jigsaw cutouts. Now I'm going to include in the comments section of the video a link to a file that'll print out a bunch of different just black and white images that you can use and cut these out with your spare plywood and add them to the branches of the tree. I think it would look awesome. So these are going to be free for you, and you'll have the extra plywood already from the cutouts. Now I'm actually going to spend a couple of more bucks because I went to the craft store and they had a bunch of Halloween stuff on sale already. So I've got this little pumpkin scarecrow. I've got a little tiny foam pumpkin. I've got a great little skull. For whatever reason, I was drawn to this cool little owl. And then I've got a nice black spider that'll look pretty good hanging from one of the branches. So stick around and we'll see how it comes out. And as it turns out, with the tree all blacked out like this, I just had to drill a couple of holes to put the pieces on. Same thing with the pumpkin and the skull. And it looks pretty good.
More skulls.
I don't think we want to scare the kids, so the one little skull is fine. The other thing that you're going to need to do is find a way, if you're going to stand it up in a corner, then it's probably good all by itself. But I'm going to put a foot on it with a piece of extra plywood, and that allows it to stand up by itself, so it looks great in the corner of our porch with the little pumpkin all ready to go. You know, it was a really simple project with a great result. I really encourage you guys to give this a try. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for the video. We really hope you liked it, and we also hope you subscribe to the channel. Take care.